King's Fall's back. It's just as much fun as we remember. Now, while I've been having a lot of fun with the raid, I have found that a lot of people are still struggling, as it is their first time running it compared to a lot of us who ran it back in D1. Now, we all know there are full strategy guides out there to teach you how to run the raid. That's not what this is. This is 10 tips to help you and your team clear the raid the first couple times. So having said that, let's look at the first major encounter, Totems. Now in Totems, it seems that a lot of teams have issues rotating their people out, and a lot of that is due to the fact that they just cannot put their knights down fast enough. Now my tip for Totems is to use a shotgun and a heavy machine gun in your loadout. This will ensure you have plenty of DPS to take out as many knights as you need to while you're holding your plates, and give you both a shotgun and a machine gun for taking out your Blight Knight. The second tip is to use your super under the totems. Have your team stack their supers under the totems. This will ensure maximum survivability, as everyone can just pop their super out under the totem and stack up kills and not have to worry about dying from all of the adds and from being overwhelmed. Bonus tip, do not kill any of the adds that come out of the middle while you're in the middle. Unlike D1, you need those adds to increase your Death Singer's count under the totems. For the War Priest encounter, the main issue here for a lot of teams is lack of DPS. Some of that is due to weapon choices and not having all the optimal guns, but a lot of it is due to not having enough heavy ammo. There's a very, very, very easy fix for this. Slap on your Aeons, put on this mod, and finish the witches as they spawn up by the War Priest. When you do this, it will spawn heavy ammo for your team, not you. The idea is that if one person does this on each side, there will be more than enough heavy ammo, and you should be able to pull off a nice 2-phase on the War Priest. The fourth tip is, while only 2 knights spawn, they spawn on the second and first plates in the glyph sequence. They do not spawn on the third plate. So if you are hunting knights, keep that in mind, that there's only 2 locations you need to look to determine where the knight spawns first and second. It is oftentimes easier for somebody on top left to traverse and find the first knight than it is for somebody on bottom right, because jumping up to top left can take a little bit of extra time, so just keep that in mind. For Golgoroth, Bungie decided to make Unstable Light not only damage your fire team, but damage Golgoroth as well, and it does a considerable amount of damage. So try to make sure you and your team are running up to Golgoroth with the Unstable Light buff when it's about to pop. Be mindful that as you rotate around the pools, some of them will get quite close to Golgoroth, and you need to ensure not to be too close to your team while the Unstable Light goes off. But this is a great way to increase your DPS and try to get 1 or 2 cycles in on Golgoroth. The sixth tip is use your Witherhold and put shots at your feet and in the pit around you. The first couple times that I ran this raid with teams, people were complaining that they were dying to adds. One of the easiest ways to take care of that is to have a couple people just douse the area in Witherhold. No ad will get anywhere near you, and this is an easy way with a weapon that you probably are already using to help ensure your team's survivability and help you get that 1 to 2 cycles off on Golgoroth. The Sisters encounter. Now this one is actually interesting because of the way Bungie has wizards coded. Because of the way they're coded and because of the way they show up on a mini-map, they're actually considered vehicles. Most rocket launchers do bonus damage to vehicles. So what a lot of teams have taken to doing is using rocket launchers on this boss. 2 of the best to use are the Wardcliff Coil and your Galahorn. Once you go into the DPS cycle, just post up opposite the wizard that you're planning on shooting, and on the ledge, once everybody's there and you have the debuff, just shoot rockets at it. It'll normally die in 3 to 4 rockets per person, And that is the easiest way by far to take out the wizards. The Taken King. When the ogres spawn, instead of trying to shoot down at your own ogre, which sometimes can be hard to hit the crit spot, it is best if you and the teammate across from you shoot each other's ogre first. This gives you a much easier access to a larger crit spot, and after you are done shooting your opposing guardian's ogre, you can then switch to shoot your own if it's still alive. After that, you are still responsible for your own knight, but you can also cross shoot to help out your teammate. If you have the bomb phase, where the knights spawn on your platforms and you have to run to avoid the bombs that Oryx shoots out, the easiest way to end this phase is actually when it starts. Right when the knights spawn in, if you stop and every last person shoots and kills their knight instantly, it will end the bomb phase. This is a great way to end this phase early and push the encounter forward quicker. The final tip is you can actually stagger the bombs on Oryx's final stand to extend your DPS time. This is a great way if you feel like you either don't have enough heavy ammo to finish or your team just lacks the overall strength. So if you trigger one bomb and then wait, Oryx will go back through his cycle to try to wipe you, and then you can trigger the other bomb, and this will extend your DPS cycle and give you and your team enough time to take Oryx out.